Hello guys, welcome back. I haven't posted for a while, but everything work and life. I haven't had time. But I decided today to make this video about my Fox 3000 millimeters. I measure it is 10 feet long, and I just wanted to talk about it because it was an easy build to make a FPV glider that give you more flight time to get used to it. I'm gonna put a link on the descriptions on where to get it. It's $500, but it's a good investment if you wanna start learning to fly FPV and a plane. This one you have to hand launch it, but you can land it yourself. And uh, it's glider, so you get more flight time. You get almost 30 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on the battery and your flying skills and the conditions of the day. Again, the plane is big. It's very easy to work with once you put in all the parts or the sensors. And the camera too, it has like a slot where you can take out the pilot, and it has the empty slot where you can, or base where you can put the camera. And it was very easy just to put the camera in and get a good uh, set so you can see outside. But it was one of the easy builds for me to transform it into FPV. And the other thing I love about it is a clip it together plane. So I just put it on the box for transportation, as you see, and you just take it out, and in less than 5 minutes you put the plane together. I'm gonna be showing how to put it together. But I love this glider. 10 minutes is a lot for you to get used to the FPV and to read the instruments. So to put it together is very straightforward. Here I'm putting here we put in the wings part. It's just a carbon fiber tube, very long one. And I'm just gonna show you, it's easy, just slide the wing in. It has two clips I'm gonna be showing in the next video, or here. So I can just put it on screen. So these are the two clips. You're gonna just slide the wing in, and below the wing you're gonna see where is the clips, and just make sure that the wing is on place. I've been reviews where if you don't check that, the wing can come out in flight. And for the other wing is where I put the pitot tube, so I have an extra step of connecting the cables and making sure the cable just slide into the holes, as there's no real space for the cable to be between the cable and the fuselage. So I'm just kind of fighting to get the cable inside the hole. That's why you see a black tape. So I make the cable steadier so it goes into the holes. And once that's done, just push it in and make sure those two clips are in place. And the tail of the plane is made is composed of three pieces. You have the rod, or this part, and you have the elevator and the rudder. The elevator just slides in to the rudder, and it has like a pin below that once you slide it, it will clip in place. I'm just not sure it here. You just make sure you pull it, but that's the pin there. That's you pull the pin. Once you pull the pin, you can just slide out or in the elevator, and make sure the pin is in. Once that's done, this is the most difficult part of putting together the tail. I would say something they have to improve, but you kind of slide it in an angle, and then you have to connect the rudder and the elevator. And the problem is, once you connect it, they are in the way of you sliding in the rudder and the mount completely. So you have to push those two cables in and out of the way in order to be able to uh, push everything in. That's why you see me with a kebab stick trying to push everything in. Once you get used to it, it's very easy. You may need pliers, because one point, I pull out everything and the cables stay into the fuselage. So you may want to have pliers handy in case that happens, so you can pull the cables out again and leave them on the outside set. But once you put the cables in, you start pushing everything else in, and it will clip into the places. If the cables are not in the way, they will avoid you from clipping. But once you put the cables in, It's just twist and the clip on top. You push it and that's it. It's secure and that's done for the build. Now you will notice inside the canopy, you can fit any type of camera with any type of gimbal, and it's a great space. If you want to put screens and everything, you can do it, but you may have to take out the canopy, and that's a lot of work. I just went from below and put the camera. I decided to go with the DJI O4 unit, the cheap one, and for gimbal I went with motion sick gimbal, and it was a fast 3 hours putting together this plane together. Now, as I talked before, is was a DJI O4 air unit. So here, as we see in the picture, it comes naked. It doesn't have any heatsink or nothing. So it started getting hot, even though I 3D printed a base to put a fan on top of on the bottom. And I had to do some modifications for it and spend a little bit more money, but it wasn't enough to just buy the O4 Pro. So what I did, I put these air intakes on it to get just fresh air from the outside, as the circulating one wasn't enough. And I bought this case on Amazon that just I will just transfer the heat to this metal, and with the when you put the fans, it will make it cooler. And after I put this, you will see it on the next video I put from the glider, just a full flight, that it doesn't come on anymore. On this picture, you can see the bottom fan and the scoops. How are they made? You have to scrape a little bit of the foam and put it, and that's it. You avoid it. I'm gonna put it on the link on the scoops, and you can see even the camera base. And here on top, you're gonna see this is just the inside. Here's where the PDB is set. That's the one I just decided to install on the plane, as it is a good flight controller. But yeah, I just mark here where's the battery position for the balance. And here is I scraped a tooth for the scoops of the air intakes. On this picture, this is the LiDAR I decided to buy. It's the same one on the MiG-29. And it works as it's a slow plane. You can get a good read of the LiDAR. Now this plane has like a little room behind the cockpit, and I decided to go with these lights for the indication of the beacon, the arm, GPS, and even the GPS is inside here. And the GPS I decided to go is the same one as the MiG-29, is the Bravo Zulu 251 GPS, and everything fit there cozy and out of the way of everything else. Just pull out one and glue it and put back to the window. Here you see where I pull out the cable. I make a hole and pull out the cable for the Pitot tube. The Pitot tube has to be away from the prop wash so you don't get erroneous information. It's a 4 cable connector I decided to go, and this was already put together. I didn't make it myself, but yeah, I put it together, and I put not the cable. What I mean is the cable, and there's some channels where the servo cables run, and that's where I decided to make that channel bigger, and run the cables to the Pitot tube. It was very easy, and then I covered it with a little bit of monocoat. Be careful, the monocoat, you have to heat it up, so be careful, you can damage the phone if you don't do it fast enough and don't use too much heat on it. And a little bit of tape to keep the cable straight once you want to push it into the fuselage to be able to install the wing. And here you can see the both clips where the wing clips on, move and clips on into the fuselage. But yeah, that's straightforward. And on the Pitot tube, I decided to go with the same Pitot tube and 3D print a base for it. Plus this other base back here, there is where the board for the Pitot tube is installed, everything's streamlined, so you don't get the too much drag affected on it. You may have to carve a little bit the foam to put the Pitot tube and the board together in, but so it gets as flush as possible. But the foam is so steady that it won't affect too much the build. I just did it a little bit. I wish I had a video so you guys can see it. But once that's done, I just monocoat to cover everything in case you have to maybe take out and double check. But once I did it, I've been flying it and I haven't had any problems. I did a couple of G's and again, it haven't break the wings. So, you just, it's a little bit of carb of the foam. Now, on this landing, you see that I went with landing flaps, and the problem I'm having is the plane gets too slow with landing flaps. So I went and almost stalled the plane as I was trying to land when I caught the engine, and I landed too hard, and I scraped the prop because I was trying to put power at that last minute and I scraped the prop. So one important tool you want to have in your arsenal is a prop balancer. Why a prop balancer? Well, if you damage a prop a little bit and you are noticing a lot of vibration, you may want to rebalance the prop, and it's as easy as just start sanding it a little bit with sandpaper. And I'm just gonna show you the video now, me trying to balance the prop again, and really straightforward. It's not that difficult. In this case, I was not able to get rid of the black lines, but this is the prop unbalance. You will see that the heaviest prop will always go down. Always remember to turn off the fan and do this in a no wind situation so you get the accuracy, because it's very sensitive. But you will see that I move it, and as soon as I stop it, you will notice that one prop, as soon as you get to the middle point, one prop will always go down, and that will be the heaviest prop. So I start sanding until you see that it becomes slower and slower, or you just leave it on the middle and with no movement. It, in this case, yeah, it wants to go down, but once you put it on that middle part and each prop wants to go down, you're balanced. Maybe a little bit, but it's not enough that when I go for the next flight, it's not this one, you will notice no vibration. This is kind of a full flight. I cut it down because it was almost 20-minute flight. But on the next video I make about this glider, it's gonna be almost a full flight, maybe 10-15 minutes. I will be talking about it, but yeah, this is a hand launch, and I will go straight to the flight. Now, when you fly, when you hand launch, you have to go down, sit down, put the goggles, set everything up. So I just fly it a little bit until the area I want, and you will see here in a short time I'm on a horizon mode, so I'm flying the plane. As I'm flying the plane, I go from horizon to loiter. What is loiter? It's just a mode you set up, and the plane will go from any mode you want. It will just start holding or giving us circles. See, I went into loiter, and now the plane is in out of flight. You see here on the throttle too that is in out of flight. That means the plane is just hanging around. It's doing circles on the air, and by GPS is staying on that pattern. And as you do that, you just go put the goggles on, set yourself up to go into FPV mode. And that's how you do a transition from hand launch and visual flying into FPV. Now I got it off loiter. I set everything up, and now I'm flying myself the plane and just getting my bearings to keep flying. And that's another thing, you don't see the camera moving because I'm setting everything up and setting myself the setting the motion tracker on the goggles too. But yeah, that's it for that. I went again into loiter, I see. But again, because once you're setting up, you have to see that the head tracking is working properly too. Now I think, yeah, we jump to another part of the plane, and you see I haven't put yet the cooling system, so after a while it start getting overheating. I think it's just the demand for the signal and everything. But I never did glide this plane on this day just because there was not good currents. So I kept flying the plane around and looking for it. You just have to turn the engine off. And on this one, I did a landing instead of landing flat. I went with mid flaps to land. You're gonna see it shortly on the video. But I was flying almost for 20 minutes with one battery charge, and that's a good flight time to just get used to it. Other things I did on this plane, I may show on the next video, is I did something I forgot how they call it, but I have flaperons and the the ailerons become flaps, or they become spoilers too, and the flaps can become spoilers. This is in case you get a very very bad updraft, you can just stop the plane from keep climbing. Not just that, if you're flying slow, you can just put them both down as flaps a little bit, 5 to 10 degrees, and it helps too, depending on the day, to keep you flying more. So here I'm coming up for landing. I have landing flaps, or in this case, I'm gonna change it to mid flaps. Uh, yeah, now I went to take off flaps. If I want to stop or anything, I just change it, but I went to mid flaps and take off flaps, and this landing was better. As you know, you just do a little bit of flare, you just keep it there until you land very smooth the plane. And it also has wheels on the wing, on the tip, so you don't scrape the wing. But I hope you like this video, how I make it. I'm gonna keep covering a little bit more of this glider, and hope to see you in the next video. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, so you see more videos on the future on my builds and how to start in the hobby you're interested. See you.